What's up, gang? Coach Christine here. Welcome to Empower Level 1, Day 1. Super excited to be here with you today for this very first workout. So we're gonna start by warming up our body. Let's take our arms out in front of us and to the side. We're gonna start with some forward arm circles, building them up. Now today, as we're doing this workout, remember this is a level 1 workout, so you work at your pace. I'm gonna give you lots of options to regress and progress the movement. Let's take it backwards now. And you work at your pace, okay? That's what it's all about. If you show up for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for all 20, it's all 100% better than not showing up at all. So we're gonna move on to warm up the center of the body. Feet are slightly wider than hips distance. We're gonna do some torso rotations. You can take your hands and pretend like you're holding a ball, or you can be in sprinkler or cactus arms, whatever feels good to you. Remember, this range of motion, we really want to come from the center of the body. We want to keep those knees tracking forward, all right? Hips, thoracic spine, and our torso and shoulders are warming up a little bit here too, but the knees are not twisting. Okay, toes are pointing forward. Excellent job. So if you have something you can hold on to, you can use a chair or a wall. We're gonna do some forward leg swings. Hold on to something so you have a nice support system in place. 10 forward leg swings on each side, getting through your full range of motion. And just warming up that hip joint, quadriceps, hamstrings. Once you've done 10 on one side, turn it around, 10 on the other side. Now make sure you're really nice and supported here. You don't ever need to put yourself in a position where you might fall over. Use something to support that balance piece if you need it. If you want to challenge yourself, go for it. Now we're gonna face our anchor. So I'm just gonna put my chair in front of me so you guys can see this. Whatever you're holding on to, you can hold on to a wall if you need to. And we're gonna go through our side range of motion for 10 on each side. Hitting those abductors and adductors, inner outer thighs. Keep breathing. Once you've done 10, we're gonna switch to the other side. 10 on this side. Good job. Really warming up that hip. Excellent. Also your glutes. I definitely felt my butt on that. All right. So next up, we're just gonna warm up our wrists. Some little rotation in those wrists. You can flick, 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 shake them out. Maybe some prayer position, forward and back. Some rolls, forward and back. This is really your time to do whatever your body needs to prepare for movement. You can do the same with your ankles, making some circles. If you have stretches that you like, that you prefer to do, go for it. I always teach these range of motion stretches before exercise. Open the gate. You can also hold on while you do this, because we want to move through some of the ranges of motion that we're going to do in exercise today. Not necessarily static holding. We'll save that for the end, okay? All right, excellent. So you can keep moving, and I encourage you to do that. Keep warming up as I talk about our exercises for today. So our first exercise is going to be squats. We're going to start with our chair. So if you have a chair available, excellent, you can use it. We will progress this to be to the point where we aren't necessarily having to use a prop, but for today we're going to use it. You cannot use it if you are ready for that, your choice. So squat first. Second exercise is going to be elevated. Again, we're going to use our chair for this. Bent knee pike push-up, which is a shoulder exercise. Then we're going to do a good morning for our glutes and our hamstrings. We don't need any props for that one. And then a push-up. Don't worry, we're going to start with an elevated push-up, and I'm going to show you some regressions and progressions for these particular movements. So we got 4 movements or positions we're doing today. And then we are going to move into our core at the end. We've got crunch, side taps, and bridge. So we're gonna work those major muscle groups: squat, quadriceps, glutes are your primary mover. Our pike push-up is gonna be shoulders are our primary mover. So you're gonna use our core in that. Use our core in all movement, by the way. Good mornings, like I said, glutes, hamstrings, posterior chain, push up, pecs, okay? Biceps, triceps. Crunch is gonna be for our frontal abdominal, side tap for our obliques, and bridge for our low back. Again, posterior chain. So we're gonna hit all the major muscle groups in the body, and we're gonna do this really efficiently for sets and reps today. I hope you're excited. Let's go ahead and get started. Grab some water if you need it. We're gonna start with that squat. So for this particular squat variation, we're gonna start on our chair, and I'm gonna start to the side so you can see my body really well. Pro tip, when using a chair for squatting, start in the seated position so that you're not trust falling back onto the chair. So for this, I wanna make sure my hips, knees, and ankles are in line, toes are pointing forward. I'm gonna start by going up into a standing position, squeeze my glutes, and then return back down to the chair with control. We've got 12 of these. Get ready, here we go. 1, squeeze those glutes, coming down with control. 2, head and chest lifted. 3, I like to bring my arms out in front to help engage my core. 4, good job, nice and slow, down with control. 5, driving through the heels and the big toe. Toes continue to point forward. Now you can always use something in the front here. 6, if you need an additional pressure point for that. 7, so you have nice strong balance. Props, man, use them. 8, squeeze those butt cheeks. 9, sitting in that air chair. 10, keep breathing. 11, last one for this round. 12, and we'll come back to our start position. Great job. That's your squat. We're gonna move on now to an elevated bent knee pike push-up. So this is a shoulder exercise. We're gonna use our chair. Again, any elevated surface will do. You can also do this on the floor. So we're gonna take our hands to shoulder distance. So we've got shoulders as our guideposts, and we've got elbows and wrists in line with our shoulders, okay? Not here yet, not here yet. So we start in a plank type of position on the chair. Shoulders, elbows, and wrists in line. I'm gonna set my feet back, doesn't have to be too far. So I'm in an airplane on the chair. I might take a bent knee here to reduce some of the strain on my knees or the back of my legs if I'm feeling it here. Now I'm gonna send my hips back. So for this particular version, I'm gonna be almost in a downward dog type of position, but on an elevated surface. I'm gonna bring my head towards the chair by bending my elbows. Weight goes into my toes, and then I press the chair away using my shoulders. We've got 12 of these. Here we go. 2, press away, send the hips back. 3, nice and controlled. It's about a 4 count. 4, and when I say that, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, elbows come out to the side for this particular exercise. Belly button's drawn into the spine. 6, push the chair away. Fingertips are wide. 7, or your elevated surface. Anything stable works here. 8, light bend in the knees. 9, almost there, keep going, press that chair away. 10, keep breathing. 11, I can feel my shoulders flying up already. Last one. Press that chair away. Excellent job. Moving on to our third exercise, which is the good morning. So I'm gonna be in a side position for this as well, again, so you can see really well. But we wanna start with hips, knees, ankles in line, toes are pointing forward. I'm gonna turn to my side, hands are gonna come to my head so that my elbows are nice and wide. I have a nice long line from the top of my head all the way straight down. So we don't wanna be collapsing, all right? If you can't get your elbows this wide and you don't have that shoulder mobility, you can take the hands to the front of the body, but I want you to see how my shoulders are in line straight across and my neck is in line. So nothing funky is happening here and I'm falling out of line. I'm maintaining neutral spine with my shoulders in line, neck in a nice straight line. And that remains throughout the exercise, okay? So you're either here, if you start collapsing, bring those hands to the front, shoulders are packed, okay? So hips, knees, ankles in line. I am sending my eyes of my hips facing forward, hands are at my head. I'm going to send my hips back. So this is my first movement. And typically when I teach this, I teach folks to put their hands on their hips, send those hips back, okay? If you don't feel it right away. We're gonna do 12 of these, here we go. 1. Don't forget to keep breathing. 2, head in line with the spine. You're gonna feel your hamstrings and your glutes. That's your butt cheeks. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alignment, check in. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, 12. Excellent job. Driving down still through the knee, not the knees, through the heels and the big toe. Knees are driving forward, all right? Last one here we have is our push-up. So we already have the foundation of this because we did our pike push-up. Remember when we set ourselves up into plank on the chair? We're gonna do the same thing here. So you're gonna have a bent knee, but remember in this particular version, and this is true for bodyweight exercise, the wider our legs are, the more stable this is going to be. So this is an elevated push-up. We're gonna start with just a micro push-up or a scapular push-up. So it's just gonna look like this. Little contraction of the scapula, so the shoulder blades, chest drops down, coming to full extension. We'll progress that as we go along. You can stay at scapular push-up or you can go to full push-up, your choice. All right, we've got 12 of these. I'm gonna do 6 and 6. Here we go. 1, belly button is strong, drawn into the spine. 2, little pike in that bum. 3, this is our scapular push-up. Notice my stack. 4, shoulder over elbow over wrist. I'm not drifting into my shoulders. My pecs are doing the work. 5, you wanna go a bit deeper. 6, or anywhere in between, it's up to you. Elbows trapped back. 7, 8, as opposed to out to the side, right? 9, we did in our pike. We're doing this a little differently. 10, chest can come all the way down. 11, keeping that nice straight line. 12, from your head all the way through your heels. Great job. 1 round down. Grab a quick drink. And we're gonna go to our round 2. We're gonna do the same exercises. We're gonna progress them a little. You don't have to. You can stay with the modifications we did in round 1. If you like, up to you. I'm gonna take my squat off my chair this time, or you can stay on your chair. If you're off your chair, hips, knees, ankles still face forward. Feet can be slightly wider than hips, or a little bit more narrow, it's up to you. Whatever they're doing, they need to do the same. So just be mindful of that. We've got 12 of these. Here we go. 1, squeeze those glutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Excellent job. We also are going to take our pike off of our chair, and we are going to move it onto the mat. So I'm going to start in my plank position. Bend my knees, send my hips back. We've got 12 of these. You can still be on your chair. Everything else is the same. Here we go. 1, elbows contract out to the side of it. 2, push that ground away. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, flat back, 11, wide fingertips, 12. Excellent job. Since we're already here, we're ready for our push-up. Remember, we're starting in plank, so we're gonna come off of the chair this time as well. As an option, drop the knees for our modified push-up. We've got 12. You can do scapular push-ups or full, your choice. Here we go. 1, elbows track back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, belly button to the spine, 10, 11, head stays neutral, 12. Excellent job. Coming down to the mat for our core section. We're gonna set ourselves up for crunch. Now, same thing here as with our good mornings. We're gonna have our hands on our head, but if that creates too much strain on your shoulders, you can take those hands to your chest. When we crunch, head, neck, and shoulders are going towards the ceiling, not towards the knees. And we're gonna think about drawing our lower rib cage down to our pelvic bone. It's a very small range of motion. We've got 12 of these. Hands at your head, do not pull on your neck. If you can't resist, one finger on the head, okay? We've got 12, we're gonna exhale and let crunch. Feet are planted, toes are pointing forward, hips, knees, ankles in line. Here we go. 1, 2, it's about a 4 count, remember control. 3, control is very much your friend when it comes to core work. Even the most experienced exerciser can find this challenging. They slow down their core work. 8, 9, 10, small range of motion, head and neck put towards the ceiling. 11, keep this space between the chin and the chest. 12. Now we're gonna move on to side taps. So I'm gonna turn my body this way for just a minute so you can see what this range of motion looks like in this position. Hips, knees, and ankles are in line. I'm gonna lift up into my hollow body position, reach down towards my ankles. These are called side taps or penguins. Moving back into my side range of motion here, I'm gonna check in, hips, knees, and ankles in line. Hollow body position, head can remain on the mat or off. Off is gonna be a little bit harder. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, crunching those obliques. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nice. Now, we're already in a perfect position to set up for our bridge. Hips, knees, ankles in line, toes are pointing forward, driving down through my heels and my big toe. Take my hands to the side. I'm gonna press my pelvis up so that my bum comes away from the floor for my bridge. Now you can either hold this or we're gonna pulse for 12. Here we go. 1, squeeze those glutes. 2, 3, squeeze. Straight up. 4, pressing away from the ground. 5, you can come all the way down in between, or you can hover. 6, 7. You might choose to do a little check-in here. 8. And a pelvic tilt. 9, which is squeezing that belly button in. 10, and checking in with that hollow body position. 11. 12. Now, if you notice your knees are falling in or out, you can use a block or a ball or a pillow as an excellent prop to kind of tune in and make sure you're maintaining that hip knee ankle or hip distance knee, okay? We've got one more round of these. Just gonna turn myself around just for fun. We're gonna do a French. We've got 12. If you wanna make it harder, you can by lifting the feet off the ground, okay? Here we go. 1, or you stay with the feet on the floor. 2, 3, flex those ankles if you're lifted. 4, keep the knees stacked over the hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Excellent job. We're getting ready for our side taps. Bringing our hollow body position back down to the mat, checking in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keep breathing. 7, smile, it helps, I swear. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, last one is bridge. Check in, hips, knees, and ankles. If you want to progress this bridge, you can lift your hands. You want to stack them right over your shoulders, driving down to the heel and big toe. Here we go. 1, squeeze those butt cheeks. 2, 3, 4, checking in with that little hollow body or Kegel-like position. 5, every time you come to the bottom, it's an option. 6, 7, straight up and down. 8, wrapping those inner thighs. 9, you can also use a band here around the knees. 10, or just below or just above. Preferable. Last one. I don't like to put things right around the knees, so I get above or below for safety. And release. We are done. That was our workout for today. Take a little time to cool it down. Maybe do some forward stretches. Stretch out those obliques. Stretch out the wrists since you gave them some love today. Whatever you need, just a couple minutes to cool down. Excellent job today. Way to get started. I'm Coach Christine. See you next time.